So we just watched Twilight.
Yeah.
For the first time.
Yeah.
You hadn't seen it before.
Never have I seen it.
Yeah, me neither.
We watched until the very last 15 minutes, and then there was another ad, so we stopped watching.
Yeah.
But we got we watched it.
We get the gist. I thought there would be more werewolves, and there wasn't any.
Yeah, there's no werewolves in Twilight, the first one.
Yeah. What is that?
It's fucking whack.
They played baseball for like 30 minutes.
Oh, man. Good movie. Definitely would watch the second one.
At least Robert Pattinson is in it.
I guess. He's not doing a great job. I mean, I guess he's doing a good job with what he has.
Yeah, it's this. You can't blame him for this.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Because when everyone sucks, it's
true. It's the
writing. Yeah.
Because I've seen things where Kristen Stewart's pretty alright, and Robert Pattinson is Batman.
I don't know about Jacob.
Taylor Lautner.
Yeah, Taylor Lautner.
He was in Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
He was, yeah.
So he is a good actor.
Close your eyes, shut your mouth, dream a dream.
Oh, man. Man, I love last episode we talked about Sky High. And
That's
Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yeah.
Two great childhood movies.
Last episode.
Speaking of...
As if these will come out in the order we record them.
I have no idea when these are coming out, when this one's going to come out.
Yeah, if I ever edit them.
Yeah.
They'll just sit in my hard drive for 30 years. Yeah, welcome to the Off the Shelf podcast. My name is Josh.
I'm Vinny.
And this is the podcast where we take books off of Vinny's shelf and talk about them.
Oh, yeah.
So what's the book we took off your shelf?
Well, you see, I think it's about time that we delve into some Image comics. So, Josh, what's Image Comics?
I thought all comics had images.
Well, yes, but what is the publishing house Image Comics?
Oh, Image Comics is the one that Seth McFarlane left to do with his buddies because they weren't getting money for Marvel stories.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's close, but Todd McFarlane.
Yeah, Todd McFarlane. Yeah, so today we're going to talk about Spawn, Volume 1.
And he's basically Venom with guns, right?
Sure, yeah, Venom and Batman all rolled into one with a lot of guns and stuff.
Okay.
He has, like, magic powers. Like, demonic magic powers.
I've played him in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never played that Mortal Kombat. Is he fun to play as?
It's cool. A lot of his powers are just, like, shoot gun.
Yeah. There's
not a lot of, like, other demonic stuff, which would be cool. Maybe I'm just not good at the game, which I'm not. Enough, yeah. But that's what I noticed.
Yeah. You know, I played Injustice 2. Did you play Injustice 2?
I played the first Injustice.
The second one, you could play as Hellboy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
You can play as Hellboy.
Do you have it?
I do.
Can we play it after this?
We can play it,
okay.
And you could play as Hellboy and Leonardo from the Ninja Turtles.
Really?
And you know how, like, you could press, like, if you hold down, like, L1 and R1 at the same time?
You do a special.
You do a special.
Yeah, same with Mortal Kombat.
Like, if you do the special with Leonardo...
The killing blow or whatever.
Yeah, if you do a special with Leonardo, the other Ninja Turtles come out and help you fight whoever you're fighting for a little bit, yeah.
That's awesome.
So, like, Mikey will come out on the skateboard, and it's cool. Anyway, so Spawn, right? Tell me every single thing you know about Spawn.
I already did. Just now.
So, Mortal Kombat.
Well, yeah, I mean, but also just, you know, he's got guns.
Okay, so...
He's like an alien, maybe? Is he?
No.
Oh.
Demon.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a demon from hell. From the real hell.
Yeah, so you can look through that.
Oh, you're not going to look through it while you talk about it? You know it so well?
Here's the thing. Spawn is a really simple story. So Spawn's written and drawn by Todd McFarlane, who used to draw Spider-Man. He wrote his own Spider-Man series, and his art is great. His art is so cool. His writing is, you know, it's all right. So
what's the one thing that I love most in comics?
Robots.
Okay, what are the three things that I
three
love
things
most?
you love most?
Yes.
Robots.
Yes.
Dinosaurs. Yeah. Monsters.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just flipping through this really quick. and there's so many cool looking monsters.
Oh
in
yeah.
This. Oh, I'm excited. Okay.
So Spawn
and like a cyborg.
Yeah, that is Overt Kill.
Oh.
Who was originally named Overkill, but they added a T, so now he's Overt. Sure. I don't know why. You've actually, me and you both watched the Spawn HBO animated show. We watched like the first episode.
Did we?
We did.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't really explain too much about Spawn in that first episode. So
it's very Batman-y.
Yeah. So Spawn, the book starts and Spawn is like roaming around New York City. It takes place in New York City. Really? And you don't really know a lot about him.
They don't make up their own city?
Fuck no. It starts, he's in New York City, he's just running on rooftops looking cool and scary. You get like news reporters talking about like whatever's going on in the city, like crime or fashion or whatever. And you get like these flashes, like Spawn's almost like he's getting his memory back. Like his memory's all like fragmented and scattered. He doesn't know who he used to be. He doesn't know who he is now or what's going on.
They're all set in these neat boxes.
Oh yes.
They're all the same size.
So the deal with Spawn is he used to be this like government guy or like this mercenary, Al Simmons.
Okay.
And he was married to this woman Wanda, and they wanted to have kids, but he was shooting blanks.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So he couldn't have kids.
Yeah.
And during a mission, he was betrayed, or he was just killed, and seemingly died. And then 5 years later, all of a sudden, he gets resurrected.
Like Moon Knight?
Sure. He gets resurrected, and he is Spawn. He was resurrected and turned into a Hell Spawn.
By the god of Spawn?
No, by the demon Malbolgia.
Oh, okay.
Or Malbolgia.
Sure, yeah.
So there's like 9 circles of hell.
Dante's... Was it 9?
Well, it's 9 in this.
Inferno?
I'm pretty sure it's like 7. But in this, it's 9.
Okay.
Yeah, so Malbolgia rules one little chunk of hell. He's the reason Spawn is alive again. And so Spawn, honestly, Spawn kind of just roams around New York City and beats the shit out of like homeless, or he hangs out with the homeless people because he's homeless. What are you looking at? Yeah, it doesn't.
I was looking at that cheeked up guy falling out the window.
Oh yeah. You can always count on Todd McFarlane to draw a fat ass.
Yeah.
So Spawn hangs out in New York City. Usually hangs out with the homeless people because he doesn't have a house, and he beats up like muggers and criminals and whatever. Right here.
So he's doing like low end crime.
He's doing like low end crime, but eventually there's this character named the Violator who shows up, and he's another demon. Here's Malbolgia really quick.
Ooh, he looks cool.
He's everyone in this, but here's the Violator. So the Violator,
he's like a fat Joker.
He is a fat, short Joker.
That's awesome.
He's awesome. In the movie, the Spawn movie, he's played by John Leguizamo. Do you know John Leguizamo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
The Spawn movie's real weird. So the Violator shows up.
Who plays Spawn?
Michael J. White.
I don't know who that is.
All right. So
they're like Michael J. Fox.
No.
Okay.
So you meet the Violator, and he's really interested in Spawn. He's been sent down from hell to test Spawn, and pretty much just get on his nerves.
So Spawn is like, he's like Venom, Batman, Punisher, and also Ghost Rider, yeah.
All mixed into one, yeah. So the Violator, like I said, Violator is from hell, and this is his real form.
Oh.
But he just takes the form of a funny-looking clown guy.
Yeah, why would you get out of this form?
Because sometimes you need to walk around New York, and you...
I
guess you want to look like a little clown.
He still has, like, a clown face, though.
Yeah. So, Al Simmons is now Spawn. This is the first 6 issues that are in this volume, and during these 6 issues, he remembers his wife, his best friend, and, like, pretty much what happened to him. How he was betrayed, how he was killed, and how now he's resurrected. You might notice right here, there's a little power bar.
Yeah.
And so this is Spawn's power. So the more power... And, like, he's really powerful, but he uses up his power bar really quick. So that's why he turns to guns and stuff.
Okay.
So he's like, I need to conserve all my demonic power.
For the big threats.
And then just, use like a machine gun for this clown man.
Makes sense.
Also, there are these characters, Sam and Twitch, who are two like detectives.
Sam and Twitch?
Sam and Twitch. Sam is the big one here. Twitch is the little one.
Of course.
And they're...
It's us.
Yeah. they're on the heels of Spawn. You know? They're like...
Yeah. What do they do? They're reporters?
They're detectives.
Okay.
So they're just following up with all the crime and crazy demonic shit going on in New York. This guy right here is Jason Wynn, who's like a billionaire. He's the guy that betrayed Spawn. He's like a billionaire, but also like a government type guy.
Okay.
Here is Spawn.
What does he do? He owns a company or something?
Yeah, he owns a company, but he also has like, he makes backdoor deals with like shady government organizations.
Yeah.
He does like everything that a nice person wouldn't do. Probably like spits on kittens and kicks puppies.
Eats babies.
Yeah. I love the Violator. I think he's so creepy looking. He's horrible.
Got so many teeth.
He has so many teeth. So, and of course, Spawn is like, get away from me, you little fat clown. And the Violator's constantly like, oh, we're gonna fight eventually. It takes a little while for them to fight, but eventually they will. It's cool. But the main idea of Spawn is Al wants to find his wife, right? It takes like a few issues for him to even remember his wife's name. Like I think by issue 2 or 3, he's like, Wanda. That's her name.
Is this him?
That's him.
He's so ugly.
He's like all burned and shit. He's like a zombie.
So he's also Deadpool.
Yes.
Okay.
So he remembers his wife's name, and he's like, I want to go see her, Even though I look like a gross monster, I want her to know that I'm alive.
Yeah.
And it's been 5 years, right? So Spawn's like, I'm going to go to the house. And he goes to their neighborhood, and eventually he sees that Wanda has remarried to his best friend. And they have a daughter together.
Oh, man.
So Wanda's living like the best life.
Yeah.
Like the life she always wanted. And without him. And Spawn's like, no! Eventually he's like, I need to get closer. I have all these powers. Maybe I could make myself look human again. So he uses his powers and he magically turns into this like ordinary looking white guy. To which he's like, what? This isn't me. Because also Al Simmons was an African American man. So he's like,
really?
Yeah. So he's like, whoa.
So it's strange that
it's strange that it's just like this random body that just. But eventually he does use that form, and he goes to the house, and he makes up some excuse. He's like, do you have time to talk about our Lord and Savior? Like that's not what his excuse.
Yeah.
But just like anything to talk to his wife, and he ends up like meeting the little girl and the old family dog who recognizes his scent,
starts barking at him.
Yeah. And eventually he goes to, oh yeah, there she is.
Yeah.
I think this might be the scene actually.
Yeah.
So he goes there and he ends up fainting, and so they nurse him back to health, and they start talking, and he's like, yeah, I used to have a wife, but it didn't work out. And then Wanda's like, yeah, I know what that's like. I used to have a husband, but he died and everything. And then she's like, but I still think about him every day. And Al is like, no. Throughout these 6 issues, you get, like I said, Spawn not only dealing with the loss of his family, getting a lot of guns. He fights the Violator. He talks to Malbolgia. Malbolgia's like, you're gonna do what I want because you're my pawn or my spawn. Yeah. And the Violator's like, why do you need him? You have me. I'm totally cool. I'm awesome. And Malbolgia's like, you're a prick. And so Spawn and Violator get into this huge fight, which I think you're on right now, probably.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. Todd McFarlane's pencils are epic. And I love how he uses, like, the whole page.
I love how the Violator looks in his, like, monster form. Mm-hmm. And even this page where he's transforming is very cool.
In the TV show...
So, like, gangly and gross. Yeah. It's awesome.
In the TV show, there's this awesome scene at the end of season 1 where he, like, transforms. Like, Spawn pisses him off. And then Violator's like, oh, Spawn, you're fucked now. And then he, like, transforms into the demon. It's like, oh, that's so cool. Spawn fights...
underbite.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. His little chin hair.
Spawn, in, like, issue 5, I think, Spawn fights this character named... Oh, what's his name? Billy? I think Billy. He was an ice cream...
Yes.
Like an ice cream man.
Yeah.
Who would...
saw that page.
Yeah. He was like an ice cream man. Let me steal this book back from you.
Wait. Yeah, it said like, boys scream, girls scream, I made him scream.
Yeah, so, yeah, this guy right here. Billy Kincaid. That's his name. So he was an ice cream man who would like lure kids into his truck. And...
Oh, so he's a bad guy.
Yes, he is a bad guy who would lure kids into his truck and he would kill them.
Okay.
There's
he looks very gross.
He is.
I mean, everyone in this book looks kind of
everyone
gross.
looks inhuman. There's this one scene, let me try to find it, where, so Billy Kincaid he gets out of jail, and he's like, I'm gonna be an ice cream man again. Terrible idea. And so he lures this one kid in, kills them, and then... You see,
so he gets out of jail and instantly gets back on his bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Sam and Twitch are like on his tail also. They're like, we gotta find this Billy Kincaid guy. He's literally just down the street delivering ice cream.
Sam and Twitch are like stealing stone.
Pretty much. So you see Billy and he, gets this kid, seemingly kills them. And then in his house, he has like glue and he's just gluing children fingers to like a board or to a piece of paper, and he's like gross. Singing and he's dressing up like a woman. Like he's just a sick individual. And of course Spawn gets on.
So it's sick to dress up like a woman.
I'm saying it's sick to kill kids dressed like Miss Doubtfire
up to a board. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he's like kind of dressed like the little kid he's killing also.
Oh man.
So yeah, I'd say it's a little sick.
Yeah.
Spawn obviously is like, my ex-wife has a kid, like what if he got to her? Like I need to fucking kill this guy. Yeah, it's like
she doesn't necessarily love him anymore. Like she moved on, but he still loves her.
Yeah, he wants to... he's like, that's not her.
Yeah,
or that's not his daughter.
It's not her.
But like,
it's not like she cheated. Like how long was he gone?
5 years.
Yeah,
yeah. She didn't cheat on him.
Yeah, I mean she's had time to move on.
So Billy Kincaid kidnaps another kid, and Sam and Twitch are like outside his house when all of a sudden Spawn gets there first and takes care of Billy. And
can he fly or anything?
Spawn?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What are his demon powers?
Mostly like lasers and shit. Like he could shoot like energy, I guess. And yeah, so Spawn ties him up, and
it's like 7.
Yeah, sticks an ice cream in his mouth, ties him up in all his chains, and he writes, boys screamed and girls screamed, so I made him scream and scream and scream.
Man, this would make a great, like, heavy metal movie.
It would.
Yeah.
So, actually, in the show, like, the first season of the animated show, Billy Kincaid comes back, like, he's a reoccurring kind of villain.
Okay.
Like, they kind of extend his plot in the first season, which I kind of like. Eventually he does come back. I think he comes back in like issue 8 or something. But we're not going to talk about that.
Okay.
We'll probably do more Spawn in the future.
Yeah.
Spawn is still running to today. Todd McFarlane's still writing it.
Are you like caught up or what?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. And the kind of the climax of this volume is Overt Kill, who's like this epic cyborg who like invades countries for the government and everything, and he's been sent in to New York by Jason Wynn because Jason Wynn knows that Spawn is Al Simmons. How
does he know?
He just knows.
Okay.
Or it's more, maybe he doesn't know, but he's just like, there's this crazy guy who looks like Batman and Ghost Rider and everything, and he's attacking me. So Overt Kill, go kill him.
But he's not really Al Simmons anymore, right? Like, we haven't really seen him out of costume much.
Well,
it doesn't seem like he has much of an alter ego.
No, he doesn't. I mean, he used to be.
Because, like, he doesn't have anyone, to go to.
No.
So...
there is a...
He's like Spawn full-time.
He's Spawn full-time, 24/7. And him and Overkill get into this huge fight, which Spawn is like, I'm losing. Like, I'm using so much of my power. So this is when he's like, all right, it's time. It's time to go gun shopping.
It's pretty epic.
And that's where, like, this volume ends, on a cliffhanger before he could kill Overkill. But Spawn started in, like, 1994, I think. And I actually have a few old issues from Spawn. I don't have number 1. I have, like, issue, like, 8. Issue 8 and, like, 5. But there's, like, the story might not be the most complex, but the art is definitely what makes it, like, worth it for a lot of people, myself included. The art is awesome. Todd McFarlane draws a lot of it, and eventually when he leaves, like, Todd always writes it, but eventually he's like, I'm gonna stop drawing it and I'm just gonna write it, so it could come out faster. They get Greg Capullo, who did Court of Owls.
Okay.
And that's where, like, Greg Capullo got his stuff. Like, Greg Capullo drew some X-Men stuff for Marvel. But
you like his run of Spawn then when he does the art?
Oh yeah. Like, it is almost, like, maybe even better than Todd McFarlane's, or at least on par. Because at least, like, Greg Capullo can draw, like, better looking humans. Todd McFarlane, every human he draws is a little demonic
cool.
looking.
I mean,
it's cool.
Like
it has its own style. But Greg Capullo's art is great.
It's very dark.
Oh yeah, it is a very dark season, and that's the thing with Image Comics is. You're not censored. Yeah. You can do whatever you want.
That's what I was thinking. It's cool to see when artists and writers get to do what they want. Yeah.
Like, Image, even though, like Image was made by Todd, but no one was like, hey, Todd, you need to make this new series.
Right, yeah.
He was like, this just came from him.
It's more of a passion project.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And later down the line in Spawn, other writers will come in. Some guest writers that you definitely know. Mr. Neil Gaiman will write some Spawn.
He does, actually.
He does. Huh. He creates a character, Angela.
Okay. Who
now is in the Marvel Universe.
That's right, yeah. We saw her at the end of a book, right?
Yeah. And so the thing with... I know for a fact Todd McFarlane loves Angela. Because who wouldn't? Angela's awesome. She's like another demon angel type thing. And so... Neil Gaiman makes her, which by definition means that Angela is Neil Gaiman's property. Even though she was created for Spawn, Neil owns her. So when, like, eventually Neil and Todd would get into a disagreement, and Neil's like, well, you know what?
There goes Angela.
Yeah. Here you go, Marvel.
Full custody.
Oh, yeah. Grant Morrison will write some Spawn. I believe he'll create a character, Anti-Spawn. Who then they rename to, like, the Redeemer or something. Okay. Or the Vindicator.
Because Anti-Spawn kind of sucks.
Yeah. Alan Moore, who did Watchmen. He writes some Spawn. A
lot of big names on Spawn.
A lot of big names on Spawn. And there are also some other crossovers for other Image comic properties in this book. Like, at the time, Image, like, the big... Like, so, Todd McFarlane made Spawn. And Rob Liefeld made... Rob Liefeld made shit. Jim Lee made shit. Eric Larson made characters as the Savage Dragon, who is like the Hulk, but with like a dragon fin on his head.
Okay, that's cool.
And they mention Savage Dragon, or I think he shows up on the TV in this. So it is like all an interconnected universe. Characters, own teams. Rob Liefeld made Youngblood. Okay. Or the Youngbloods.
What is that?
It's just like it's like a team of like murderers.
Oh, okay.
Rob Liefeld made Deadpool also. So Rob Liefeld created Deadpool and Cable. So the characters on Youngblood is like Deadpool and Cable.
Okay.
So those type of characters.
Yeah.
Eventually Rob Liefeld and Jim Lee would all come back to Marvel or DC because the money was just too good. But Todd never went back. Todd never, like, he was strong. He stayed with Image Comics because, I mean, he did create it.
Yeah.
So it is his baby. Todd also makes action figures. So, like, if you go to, like, a Target or a Walmart and you look at the DC action figures, those are probably Todd McFarlane.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, they have DC has a new line, like, DC Multiverse action figure line or something.
Uh-huh.
And they're all made by him, which is awesome. He also had McFarlane Toys, which is just whatever action figures he wanted to make. So he did make, like, Image Comics characters. So you could buy Spawn action figures. There was Image Comic The Max. Do you know what The Max is?
No.
The Max is, like, the most absurdly crazy thing.
Okay.
About this gigantic monster man.
Okay.
It's good. It's like...
Wait, what is it?
The Max.
The Max. Right, but, like, what is it?
That's a great question.
Okay.
I don't even think the writer knew.
Have you read it?
I have.
Okay.
It's interesting. We'll talk about it probably one day. Like, he was like a second generation Image character. So, like, he didn't come out at the same time as Spawn.
Yeah.
But he came out a few years or months after. And Todd McFarlane made action figures of him and his whole line. And then eventually Todd did a Movie Maniacs line where he did, like, horror movie characters. So you get, like, Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers and stuff. Because I think, like, for Todd, it's all about the image. Obviously, like, Image Comics is all about the art.
Yeah.
So I think deep down he kind of always wanted to make action figures. Because that's kind of, like, the coolest way to get, like, a 3D version of, like, your own characters and stuff.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But, like, yeah, I love that. Just everything.
I love the fingers. Yeah, it's very cool.
It's all great. Sam and Twitch, they get their own, like, spin-off series.
I love that this is, like... It's like Todd McFarlane going, this is what you could have had.
Marvel.
Yeah. Like, you could have had something awesome.
I feel like Todd went to Marvel, like, before he quit.
Yeah.
He was like, I have this idea to make Venom. Like, have this big event where Venom, Ghost Rider, Deadpool are all combined into one character. And Marvel's like, that's stupid. And he's like, I quit! And so he did that. Yeah. But I mean, that's pretty... And he never quit.
No.
But that's pretty much it for Spawn Volume 1.
Yeah.
You know what?
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. I knew I had him somewhere, so I just wanted to grab the Max so you could see it.
Oh, okay, cool.
You could look through it.
Oh, it's with 2 X's.
Yes! The Max.
Oh, he looks silly.
Yeah.
Look at his teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. He's got like a middle finger spike.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Max is so weird. It's like, it's almost like a fever dream.
Yeah.
Where it's...
The people look so strange.
Yeah.
I love it.
Where, like, when you're just looking at the pictures, you're like, this looks kind of silly and weird.
Yeah.
And then you read it and you're like, this is kind of weird, but there's like this deep, like, sadness that runs through it. Because the Max is kind of like Spawn, like homeless.
Yeah.
This homeless man who, like, protects this woman. And it's more or less like the Max is like the spirit animal for this woman. And I don't know, it's weird. We'll talk about it one day more in depth. But the Max was written by Sam Keith, and the best thing about, again, Image is just like getting new writers to share whatever story they want.
Yeah.
You know, and new artists. And like Sam Keith drew for Batman and DC and stuff, you know. But this is where he's just like fully unhinged, doing like whatever he wants. And that's the cool thing about Image. And Image has definitely grown a lot. Like I showed you that book Chew, where the guy works for the FDA.
That's Image?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And so I think it's Image, or it's some independent, but like even if it's not Image, just like Image kind of spawned the idea of like the independent comic, you know, like obviously they were independent or comics that weren't Marvel or DC.
Yeah.
But it breathed new life into the idea of like, even though Image does start with Spawn, which is like a superhero comic, it eventually turned into something more, where it didn't have to be superheroes. It could be horror or comedy or like whatever you want it to be.
Yeah. Because I feel like, and I don't know if this is fully true, but it seemed like most comics were superhero comics.
Oh, yeah.
Up until that point, right? Mm-hmm. Which is cool, because it doesn't have to be, you know?
Yeah. It could be, like, I've read many comics.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of Image comics are just so out of the box, or outside of the box, like Chew, which is just like this guy, he can eat things and see, like, the lifespan of them. Like, that's such a weird, crazy concept.
Yeah.
Or there's this book, Sex Criminals, where every time this woman and this guy come, they freeze time.
Okay.
Like, it's just the most absurd ideas, but the stories, like, when you get into it, it's like, whoa, that's, like, kind of genius.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, Marvel would never do that.
No,
you know?
Yeah.
So it's just, like, a cool way to get new ideas. Or Gideon Falls, which is one of my favorites. It's a horror, but also kind of like a multiverse, crazy sci-fi event. And, of course, Hellboy, which is an Image, but just got to mention Hellboy every time.
He's not a superhero.
Yeah,
necessarily.
No, Hellboy's like
he's more of a private detective.
He is. He's like an FBI agent, but he's like, I love all the mythology and everything that Mike Mignola like ropes into the Hellboy story, where it's like a mixture of every religion and mythology and everything, and it's just cool. But yeah,
very cool.
I don't know if Hellboy came out before Spawn. I feel like, you know what? It definitely did.
It did?
I think so.
I thought Spawn was one of the first of Image.
Yeah, but Hellboy was Dark Horse.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I think Dark Horse was first.
Okay.
I think Hellboy was probably like early, like 90.
Did Mike Mignola do any Image comics?
Probably. Yeah. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but definitely. And it's cool seeing like Neil Gaiman, right? Who wrote Sandman for DC. How he'll do an Image comic where he can just do whatever he wants. You know, or Alan Moore, or these like big writers or artists just come up with something off the top of their head. Or something they've been thinking about for a while. And just put it on the page. Without restrictions by Marvel or DC.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck Marvel.
Yeah. Let's quit. Wait. Let's get hired.
Yeah.
And then let's quit. And we'll start like Image point.
Yeah, we'll write Daredevil for 10 years. Mm-hmm. And then quit.
And then get fed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's destroy it. Let's just
when they won't let us make Foggy and Matt fall in love. We'll leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you give Spawn?
Man, in art?
Yeah.
Like a Morty 40.
Well, yeah, okay. That's fair. I like it.
In story, like a Kate 8.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Story's a little simple.
Huh.
But it's, you know what? No, I'll give it like a...
But it supports the art.
It supports the art.
Right.
It's really a book about the art. Like, it never feels disconnected at all. I'll give it a Ben 10 out of Ben 10.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Real fun. And disturbing.
Fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Todd McFarlane's been trying to get a Spawn movie made. Like, they made one in the 90s, but Todd wants to direct it. And I think that's why it hasn't come out yet, because no one's gonna let him do that.
That would be awesome, though.
I know. Like, but they were talking about Jamie Foxx as Spawn, and I don't know about that.
Why?
I don't know.
Jamie Foxx is cool.
He is cool. I think he could do an alright job. It really depends on the script. Like, if Todd writes the script, then he'll probably, he knows it best.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We should watch the 90s Spawn movie.
Yeah.
It'll make you cry. It's so bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But the Violator is awesome in it.
Does he look like how he does in the comics?
Straight up.
Really?
Like, he looks identical.
Show me a picture.
Man, he looks spot on to how he looks in the comics.
Oh, man. That's awesome.
It is awesome, man.
What does he look like as a demon?
That is a good question. The CGI is so bad in the movie. I don't remember this, but it looks more practical.
That looks cool.
Good.
Yeah. Not as cool as the drawing, but still cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But
are there action figures for the demon?
Oh yeah, Todd made action figures for everything.
And you just make an action figure.
I don't even know.
That's awesome.
But the action figures are so cool, man. Like, I think Spawn might be the most epic looking thing I've ever seen. That's like... Spawn's like the most epic tattoo.
Yeah?
Or like...
Should we get Spawn tattoos?
Oh, yeah. He's like such a cool... Yeah. The anti-Spawn or the Redeemer action figure.
Oh, he's like a knight.
He's like an angel knight.
That's cool.
Yeah. Do you know what Angela looks like?
Yeah, a little bit.
I like Angela.
Just because of Age of Ultron or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what it was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's like a warrior.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
And in Marvel, she joined the Guardians of the Galaxy. So she was a member of them. But then, turns out she's Thor's sister. How? I don't know.
She's not Hela?
No. Hela
Is she even in the comics at all? I mean, as Thor's sister?
No. Because in the comics and normal Norse mythology, Hela is the daughter of Loki.
Yeah.
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 And I think Loki is Thor's uncle in actual Norse mythology.
Yeah, he is.
Whatever.
Man, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Marvel's stupid.
Let's quit. Oh, wait. Doing the same bit again.
Let's get hired again.
But yeah, I think that's about it. Would you read Spawn?
I would totally read Spawn.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that cool.
Yeah, Spawn's awesome. They make like these huge compendiums. Have you seen the Invincible compendiums?
Yeah,
like the huge ones.
Yeah.
They make like
I want to get it so bad.
They make those for Spawn too.
Man, if I could read comics,
I know.
I would get so many.
Yeah, Spawn is an awesome series. I definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
It is like grotesque, but also kind of beautiful. Like the art is just so beautifully gross, or just beautifully epic. Like, no one draws demons like Todd McFarlane. Or scary-looking clownmen.
I mean, I don't know if that's true. Mike
Mignola.
Mike Mignola could do it.
He does draw a damn good
and,
demon.
Or Neil Gaiman.
Neil Gaiman
could do
Well,
it.
Neil Gaiman doesn't draw.
Who does the art for...
Sandman?
Yeah. I thought it was...
Mike Dringenberg.
Oh, he could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Sam Keith, who drew the Max, drew a little bit of the Sandman. He drew like the first volume,
really?
I think, of Sandman.
It looks so different.
I know.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love when artists have a nice range. Yeah.
Yeah, like John Romita Jr., when he first started, he had... His art style was just like his dad's, John Romita Sr., and now his art's like his own. So, art's cool.
Art's very
Sometimes.
cool. Yeah.
When it doesn't suck.
Well, is that it?
I think that's it.
All right, we finally talked about Spawn.
I know.
We've been talking about it for a while, and now we finally did it.
Yeah, man. The thing is, I would have talked about it sooner, but I had to rebuy this volume because it got
the mold.
The mold.
Yeah.
It got attacked by my mold problem.
Man.
So I lost my volume 1, 2, and 3. So now I only have volume 1. So I gotta get all. I went to the comic book store the other day where they had the rack of new stuff, and they had Spawn volume 21. So 21? There's like 21 volumes of Spawn currently.
Wow.
So I'm a little behind.
And it's all the same run?
All the same run. Yeah, Spawn's up to like issue 300 something now.
Really?
Yeah, I don't even know what's going on.
That's significant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think it holds a record for the most independently published comic series.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the only thing that has more is this other independent book called Cerberus, which is about a Viking aardvark.
Like Arthur?
Yeah.
Do you ever watch Arthur?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not like Arthur. He's a Viking. It's really weird.